And we're on the air, folks. Welcome back here again to the corner. Um, Before we start, like today's episode, I'm going to taste this. Like purchased, or actually, I haven't purchased. It's gift from my girlfriend, and it is a dark beer called in Danish Mørk Mumme, or in Norwegian Mørk Mumme. Um, Now I am excited to try this. It's from Shuts. I think they make decent beer, and it is a pint, quite strong one. Also, it's 6.5%. That is 13 proof for you Americans. And then let's see, like beyond it, it says that this is a powerful, dark, and malty beer type from the late Middle Ages. So apparently, like it's a recipe that's been around for a while. And then it says that maybe this brewer um, delighted himself with this version that we have added a hint of Nordic berries, typical shots. And it says that this guy's passion was botanic and beer. Nice combo, folks. And that in 1859 he was the man behind Albany. Albany! That is like not the country Albany, but it is another famous Danish beer type called Albany, with which have their breweries in Odense, I believe. I don't know how the fuck you pronounce that word in Danish. Like I always get shit for it. Um,
I'm gonna do it with a whisper here and go really close to the microphone so that you guys can hear the sexiness Danish language. Odense.
that's funny, man. Okay, and then it says, yeah, he was the man behind Albany again, like which is a big Danish brand, beer brand, and their brewery in Odense is in is in is on Fyn or Funen or whatever how you say that in English. Um,
Fyn.
yeah, which is a Danish island.
Man, I feel like some fucking shadow speaking from the beyond.
And yeah, so like like let's get to it. I'll continue reading this as I pop this open, and got my pint glass here, and that I got in Germany for like 99 cents. So yeah, man, we're like pouring this up. It's important when you pour that you pour it with the glass tipped, or else it's going to foam over. And I don't really want it to foam over because it just creates such a mess. Um, so there we can see, like like perfect zero point 0.5 liters. Can you see the pint mark? That's over there.
Yeah.
Gonna taste this now. Yeah, that's good. It's good. You know, like typically when it comes to like special beers, I will like say that my favorite type will probably forever and always be IPAs. And this does not
Oh,
taste like an IPA, of course, since it is a Mörk Mumbe. Um, but
genius.
it does taste more similar to a stout. You know, uh,
Ah,
yeah,
stout beer is good.
yeah, stout beer is
I like a
good.
good stout.
Uh,
But
You
uh,
can
but nothing. Yeah,
you can also see like how dark it is. Like it is like just as dark as a Coke, right?
yeah.
Um,
Dark beers. I generally favor dark beers. You can also get IPAs that are more darker in the color.
Yeah, yeah.
they're not all this bright
No, no,
pale shit.
like I particularly like IPAs that has like a golden dark brown color. That's the
Yeah.
shit. Like if you're ever in the market for like trying an IPA that's also cheap, you should try Samuel Adams IPA. That's a really good one.
If you want a good IPA that's really cheap, or let's just say the cheapest of the cheap, then your best bet in Denmark would be Royal.
Man, do they make IPAs?
Yeah. They do. Uh, they had
Eh,
them on sale just at the grocery store a couple of weeks ago.
I thought
Uh,
like they only made, you know, like the standard ones, you know, like classic and pilsner
no,
types. Mm.
they have a Royal version as well. I think it's actually, no, I could be wrong. No,
Wow.
I think it's the same. I think
Um,
it's a little more than your typical Danish beer. Your typical Danish beer has 4.6% alcohol, and the Royal IPA has 4.8, so a
huh.
little more.
Okay. Man, I gotta try that. I have noticed that if I'm drinking like canned beers, um, I might I'm obliged to say that if you were giving me a blind test right now and you were giving me beer of a can and then beer of a bottle, I could taste the
Mm.
difference. I could taste the difference. Uh,
Oh,
be-
don't hold me to that,
because
man. Like,
because yeah, man, because like in the great words of E. Hulse, then it's like I can taste the metal.
I can taste the plant. Yeah, let me
Yeah,
just quote that for our viewer listeners here. Uh, E-Hulse is abbreviated for Elliot Hulse, who's a strengthman. What do you call this discipline? A
yeah, strong
strongman.
man. Yeah,
He's a strongman weightlifter who does these crazy videos on YouTube. Uh,
he's also a big Republican and a Trump fan. All
uh,
right.
he's gone a little crazy over the past years.
Yeah,
But in the beginning, he was interesting to listen to. But also he can fly off the handle.
yeah,
He
yeah.
literally will stand in front of the screen and just amp himself up
Well,
and just
well,
start yelling at the camera.
yeah.
I mean, who does that?
Yeah, yeah, that is pretty crazy. And like, I'll continue to read a little bit on this bottle for you guys. So yeah, then it says that today we are honoring this man with a long row of beers, all in his spirits.
Uh,
And furthermore, that he was really busy of botanic and a great lover of the nature. A little less, what's the word in English? Begeistret. A little, yeah,
enthused,
yeah,
amazed.
a little less amazed or enthused was he was a little less enthused and amazed by the state church. So apparently the guy was not a fan of the church. He was a special kind for his time, controversial, and often expressed himself very polite, but he would express his attitude polite by once saying, "The shoe, no, not the shoe. I'm sorry. The the forest is my church." And man, can you translate the rest for me here? Skoven er min kirke, og
Uh,
svalen kvidren min lovsang.
the forest is my church. The bird, I don't know how you spell it. That's I can Google that pretty quickly.
Yeah,
That's a what the fuck is that? It's a type of bird. Is my what?
is min lovsang.
Oh,
My, my
my love song.
Not love song, but
Oh no, my
yeah,
praise
my
to
praise
God.
song. Yeah, my praise song. Yeah. So apparently, this guy was not a big Christian. He was more fan of the nature than the church. Um, which I can
Yeah,
really follow him in, because like nature
yeah,
is there and it's like really peaceful to walk mountains and walk forests and walk paths along this nature paths along the sea.
yeah, and not only that, it is always there.
Yeah, it's always
No
there.
matter no matter the problems
Yeah,
that we create for ourselves in our heads, no matter the fucking bullshit that we worry about, or the craziness that runs through our heads every day
yeah,
with regards to the bullshit jobs we have to get up to, or the fucking interviews we have to go on, or the fucking uh, programming code, source codes we have to read if you're a programmer, or if you're a humans like in the humanities, no matter what text you have to
yeah.
read, the nature is always there
You know,
for
like
you.
I can recommend to everybody that's listening to this, um, that if you know somebody that goes hunting or something, you should ask if you can come with, because it's one of the most relaxing
Yeah.
things I've done. You know, I actually didn't shoot anything the last time I went on it, or I
No.
shot a bunch of trees, but it was really peaceful to go into the nature with loaded shotguns, right?
Despite being armed to the teeth, yeah, but
Despite being
still.
despite being armed to the teeth, yeah, it was really peaceful. Uh,
But isn't that ironic that
yeah, yeah,
you are more at peace with a 12 gauge shotgun in nature, or I don't know, not a 12. I don't know what the fuck
yeah.
I'm
I
saying. I
did
don't
I
know
did I
weapons.
did use 12 gauge. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
yeah,
well, okay, then I was right. So
yeah.
you are more at peace with a 12 gauge shotgun in nature than you are in the inner city of, I don't know, Copenhagen or New York,
Yeah,
uh,
man. Yeah, man.
where
Like,
you're sitting with a pencil.
no, that like a
Think
granted.
about that.
gra-
Think about that
Yeah,
fucking comparison.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
With a armed with nothing but a pencil, where you have to write down thousands of fucking documents and put stamps and everything. You are more stressed than out in the nature with a 12 gauge, where you just walk around and take in the nature.
Yeah. Well, again, like if you do this and you are actually um, prepared to fire this thing, don't forget to use earbuds, because if you don't, it's
Yeah,
gonna hurt like hell.
yeah,
I experienced that firsthand.
yeah.
But yeah, man, it's because it's something about that to be in the nature with no self reception, and you know this was in in a huge forest, by the way, that I was in. It was a forest of like 5,000 square kilometers or something in
Yeah.
in a
Oh shit,
county.
that's
Yeah, that's big. In a county that only had like 2,000 inhabitants, right? So
yeah.
like, the isolation is just completely mesmerizing, because you knew that when you're firing a shot, nobody's gonna hear you.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And it also, like, even though it was relaxing, it also like kind of like kept you on your toes, since you would know that if you get hurt, there's nobody there to help you. Then you gotta hope you have somebody with you, and then that guy is going to have to walk like 10 kilometers through rough terrain in the forest to the car, and then drive, and then find cell reception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't have anyone with you, what then?
Oh man. Oh man. Then you're screwed.
No,
uh
no, no. I mean specific. I don't mean
no, no.
just a
Okay.
vague description like
Okay, like,
screwed.
okay, man, like if you were like on your own, and you were injured in a place like this,
Yeah.
fuck, man, you would have to think fast, but then it depends on like how injured are you? Did you shoot yourself in the foot, or did you trip over some rocks?
Yeah,
Right.
well, let's say yeah, it depends on where was it you what describe the scenery here
Uh,
that you were in.
hilly mountain terrain, forest all around it,
Okay.
and like 15.
Wildlife? What's the wildlife like?
Well, like nothing that can kill you. Nothing, no bears or shit that's going to kill you. But
But how about deers? Like how
yeah,
big were the
yeah,
deers?
yeah. It was like big deers and elks around there. Um,
But then again, they're usually skittish.
yeah, they're
So
really skittish. So like there wasn't any predators here. So no, you would be. It's not like Red Dead Redemption 2 nature. Like where wolves or shit would come to you. No.
yeah,
No, so if you were injured, I guess like you would have to crawl to a place where you could get cell reception, maybe to a top of the mountain or something.
yeah,
Like which is also like a tough call because you would like have to think like, am I going to crawl to the top of the mountain or am I going to um, crawl 10K to the cabin where the car is,
yeah.
right?
And the word crawl. Sorry, I'm trying to paint a picture for our viewers here, much more than just like leaving it at yeah, and then you're screwed. Like that's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
it's
no,
like
like
it doesn't do justice
no,
to the pain that
no,
runs through your brain in that situation, and we can't even appreciate it because we have not tried it before.
yeah.
But I don't think the word crawl does justice to the
No,
to the
no.
hell marathon that you have to go through when you have shot yourself in the leg or in the leg, in
Yeah,
the leg,
yeah,
and you are bleeding from your leg. You have the bullet that's still in your leg.
yeah. If you
Would
shot
you
yourself, yeah.
would you ask yourselves this, listeners and Pat here? Would you dig out the bullet or would you just start crawling?
Oh man.
It's I feel like this could be this was a YouTube series. This would where we'd end the video and put like up a choice on the screen.
Yeah.
Do you dig out the bullet or do you start crawling?
Oh man,
And
it's a really tough question because if you don't know what you're doing, you could do more damage to yourself. And like especially if the bullet is like near an artery or even the main artery or something, then you really would have to like think fast, man.
yeah, and how do you know? You don't know because
No,
you're not, unless you're a doctor, but
no,
most
yeah,
people who listen to this probably are not.
yeah.
But that's why, but let's say you are in this, you still have to make a choice now. So what do you choose?
I think I will leave it in and crawl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
You,
I would tie up
you
my
probably
leg. I would
do.
tie up my leg with the belt. And if I didn't have a belt, I would like rip a piece of the shirt off and tie it with that,
Yeah,
and start crawling.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
I think so too. But then you still have the bullet in the leg that probably, I don't even know how to describe it because I've never been shot. The only thing I've been shot with is these soft gun pellets,
Yeah, yeah,
these
yeah, yeah,
plastic pellets, and even that already hurts like
yeah,
hell. But that's just instantaneous. That's just like a whip.
yeah,
Most people have probably had like a whip on their skin or something like that that burns for a second, and imagine that pain that just keeps being in your leg while you have to inch your way one step, one more step. It becomes a survival fight.
yeah. It does,
So
man. It's
yeah,
really undescribable. I don't even
it
think that
is.
you could. I don't even think that you could put words on the pain that you would be feeling.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, that is like most likely what I would have done.
yeah.
Um, or first I would like I've checked if there was an exit wound, if the bullet was through the leg or something. Because
Yeah,
if it was through the leg and like you're just bleeding, then you could, I guess, like you could try and make a fire and burn yourself, like cauterize the wound, right?
yeah.
Like you would like still have to like get it checked out, because even if you burn it, then you're still prone to get infections and shit in it. Despite what
Yeah.
all these Rambo movies teach you, that you could just take a burning stick on a gunshot wound and be like, yeah, I'm good to go again, 100%.
Yeah, but that you shouldn't compare that to the real world though, because
No,
that's
no,
like that's
no.
a superhero
Yeah, yeah,
iconization.
yeah.
It's an
But
iconization, a
I, I would
fictionalization of the real world, and that has nothing to do with the real world.
no, but I would still have like done it and cauterized the wound. But would definitely have like gotten it checked out later by a doctor after getting to a place, where I could call for help.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
definitely, I would definitely say too that
Because
burning the wound is a good disinfectant in that situation. It's the
yeah,
only thing you have.
but most important is that you're stopping the bleeding,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because like you might get it infected later, but you have at least stopped the bleeding, so you're not bleeding to death anymore.
yeah.
Um,
But
and
even still, like fire, if anyone, most
but
people have probably tried to be burned as well. So not a pleasant feeling, and imagine that
and
like 10 times
I
worse.
gotta point out here, like when we're like talking shot yourself in the leg, then we're talking with our rifle, because if you were to shoot yourself in the leg with a freaking 12 gauge, you don't have a leg anymore,
Oh yeah,
right?
that's true. That's true.
Right?
But
then you're really then you're really fucked.
yeah. But even that, I mean, you would still not be dead from that. Let's actually assume that now, so that you are out with your
Well,
12 gauge, and
it,
then you like play around with it, and then you see, oh, I got it in, I got the pellets in. Now I lock, stock, and two smoking barrels,
and
aim
then
it
you drop,
down,
and then you drop
and
it.
then you think of Jason Statham who's saying like, "Yo, blimey, I'm gonna try to pull this trigger right here."
Yeah. Well, I don't think that that you would be able to point it at your leg and fire it. Then you would have to, like, not accidentally, because then you would have to be like in a really awkward position, and
Yeah,
you're
you'd
also,
have to be pretty much an idiot, but I
yeah,
mean,
and
let's
also
just
you're
assume.
like we're talking about like the kind of like shotguns that you are like breaking, and then you're walking with them like at the break
Yeah,
point with them
yeah,
down, which is like kind of the safety, since most of these things don't have a safety.
yeah,
So that's also why you see in the movies that they're like walking with these shotguns in the break position, right?
yeah. But
Uh,
that's what everyone teaches
yeah,
you
yeah.
who has ever been out in this situation with a
But
shotgun, that you should always have them break
but
or
you have
angled.
some idiots that are walking around in the forest with these things, completely loaded, guns up, and wasted on half a pint of whiskey. And if you were one of these guys, then you would definitely be able to drop the shotgun and blow your damn leg off.
That's probably a sport in Russia.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Right.
what would you say? We break
Like,
half the gun
oh
down.
man,
That's just waste
can you
time.
imagine? Can you imagine? First we drink, then we hunt. Oh man. Yeah, man. Like when I went on this, like with these two guys, they were like really strict on this, and were like, like we are not going to have any blood alcohol when we're doing this, going out in the forest. We hunt
No,
first. We
no,
hunt. We
nor
hunt.
nor should you.
No,
I mean,
like we hunt first. Then we can drink, right?
that
Mm,
should be one of the red flags. I mean, the two red flags here are really, uh, if you see any alcohol, you you say, nah, man,
yeah,
I'm going home. And the second thing is if somebody has a shotgun that is straight, you also go home,
yeah,
because
yeah. You also go home then, yeah,
that's like the two main red flags when hunting.
yeah.
Uh,
And
Actually,
like,
I tried. I think it was 3 years ago. Yeah, probably 3 years ago by now. That I was hunting with one of my good old buddies, Dennis, and his family, and both his parents are hunters actually. Also his mom.
yeah, but
So
they're farmers, right?
yeah, they're
Yeah,
farmers. So there's of course there's just normal,
yeah.
but even them, I mean, they still have, you gotta have a lot of respect, and they also did have a lot of respect for this. Uh, and so we were on this what you call a drivjakt, like a drive hunt, or what do you call it? Where you have the drivers, and me and my buddy Dennis were the drivers who were going through a forest area, clapping like
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I get
to
it. Like,
to
yeah, yeah,
scare
yeah,
away the
yeah,
deer.
yeah.
And then scare them into an area and corner
Okay,
them
man.
so that the hunters who are going in the sides are going to capturing in the prey so that they have nowhere to run, and then they can shoot them.
Yeah. Well, like this is the active way of doing it. Like the
Yeah.
in Norway, this is like not so normal. Then it is like more when you hunt deer and elk. It is like more kind of like this stationary hunting where you
Yeah.
then where like you have those like kind of like hunting towers. I've seen them in Denmark and I've seen them
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
lot in northern Germany, right?
Yeah.
Where they will sit and hang out in a post and wait for something to show up and then kill it.
Yeah, that's what my grandfather used to do on
Yeah,
my mother's side. He would, he would actually, when I was very little, I was with him once, and
and then
it was
like,
fucking, fucking insane. Like we were going up into this tower, and then the first thing he does after he's put the rifle on the post, or like on this what do you call it, the stativ,
yeah, the
the
tripod.
fuck, yeah, the
Yeah,
tripod. Then he pulls out his pipe and says, "Yeah, guys," because me and my brother and I was up there with him. So yeah, guys. Now all we need to do for the next 3 hours is sit here, tell each other stories while I smoke my pipe and sit here and wait.
yeah. I bet like whenever I've heard about this and seen people doing it, I've been like, what the fuck? Like, I get it. I get it. It is probably like a really, really, really comfortable way of hunting, right?
Yeah,
But it is again like what the fuck, right? Because you're not walking in a forest, you're not chasing anything, you're just sitting tight,
yeah.
and you can have a beer and smoke and whatever, right?
Yeah, he was literally just pulling out his pipe and just starting to light it, and then they were like, "Yeah, this is chill. This is life."
Yeah.
Because I suppose it also has a sort of meditative effect to it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I guess so, man. Like it is a kind of like also transferring this aspect, kind of like the same as sitting with a fishing pole in the water in a boat,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You're
absolutely.
just you're
There's actually no difference in those activities
you're just sitting
at
there
all.
waiting for the prey or the fish to bite
Yeah,
to come. Yeah.
until you get really desperate because you haven't sighted anything for 4 or 5 hours, and then you
Now
take a
then you go home. Then
yeah,
you
yeah,
then
yeah,
you
of
go
course,
home.
like yeah, yeah. But
Right.
unless you're in the wilderness of northern Alaska or northern Canada or something, thousands of miles from any civilization, and
Yeah.
you just You
and
just won.
then you go back to your tent, or
Yeah,
then you go back
true.
to your tent or do something else.
Unless you haven't eaten for 2 days, then you grab your spear and then you go out to the water and just fucking
Oh
slam the
man,
spear into the water.
oh man. Um, and you know, like before, like I will move on to the second subject of the day. I will read the rest of this bottle. Where it said, you know, like after what you said, back to what you said about this guy, that the forest was his church and the birds was his praise, right?
Oh,
It says that it did not mean that he was not an ungodly person,
it's
meaning,
the
yeah,
bird was a swallow by the.
okay. So it did not mean that he was not a Christian or ugodely, uh,
Yeah. Ungodly.
ungodly, but he means later, or it says that, but one means later to have heard his fyldige bariton. What the fuck is a bariton in Danish, man? Please,
Okay.
please
Can
explain.
you write it
Uh,
or say it another time?
bariton, bariton.
But
I begeistring over et vellykket brygg. Oh, okay,
mean-
man. Okay, man. I think it means. I think it means. I think it means that one would later hear his yell or scream of joy after having brewed a successful brew. Fuck,
Yeah,
man.
right.
And boulder through the brew hall. And then he would yell, Humle og melt, Herren gav oss eld.
I actually pulled it up here on Wikipedia. A baritone is a type of classical male singing voice whose vocal range lies between the bass and the
Okay.
tenor voice.
Okay, so he would sing, and then he would go to the brew hall and yell, humle og malt. What is humle in Danish? Hops and malt.
Yeah.
The Lord gave us everything, or the Lord gave us all. Man, what a crazy guy, huh?
Yeah.
I like these eccentrics, and I have to agree with Bill Burr on this one, that most of us choose to have like these safe jobs where we're like doing a job that we don't really like, or just doing the job because we're competent enough to do it, instead of chasing some dreams that is fulfilling, because that's not safe, it's not secure. So I guess
But
I guess
it depends what fulfills you, though. I mean,
yeah.
of course,
Then,
if you have this all-American sense that fulfillment is having $5 million in your bank account, then of course it's going to be hard to reach.
yeah, no, like I don't think of it like that. I'm like thinking of it like, okay, um, let's say that you're an artist, that you're a painter, right?
Yeah.
Then what would most likely fulfill you is that you were painting, right?
Yeah.
Creating paintings, but then you have a dilemma. You can either paint, or you can work to earn money to live.
Or you can do both, or
Or
you can work
do both. But
you can work a part-time job.
then yes, the part-time job is crucial to this, I think, because if you're working a full-time job, I believe that you would like feel like I felt sometimes, that you're like feeling like your brain
Drained from
drained,
energy at the end
you
of the
know
day.
you know how your TV in the old days would, like go to snow, like just be like shh, this like hissing sound, and then completely being snow. Like
Yeah.
that's how I have it sometimes in my brain. I've been to work for 8 hours or 8.5 hours, and and you sent me some piece that I need to read or something, right? And like
Yeah.
then I get like the piece, and then like my brain just goes like on snow, you know?
Like a life machine in the hospital that
Yeah,
goes
yeah, yeah. Exactly,
ding.
exactly. So yeah, man, like it is like a fine balance, like finding something that is fulfilling and actually making a living of it. Because
Yeah,
I have like no
definitely.
doubt, I have no doubt that a man that is like burning for making wooden furniture like tables and chairs, right?
Yeah,
And this is what he does for a living in his own business. This guy is like more happy than any of us
yeah,
because he's making a living of what he loves, right?
yeah, definitely.
But to find that something that you burn for and are creative enough to make a living of, that's
Yeah.
that's like some of the most
To quote Walter White here, when he's arguing with Jesse in season 5, um, being being the best. No, no, from the top. What we do here, being the best at something, that's a very. You don't just toss something like that aside. And that's actually it. Um, but
hey
then he,
guys, you probably just saw me in my underwear getting like this huge bottle of famous Grouse whiskey from 1989. Um,
what? You got a 1989 bottle of famous grouse?
yeah.
What the? And just sipping that down
It's gonna
like it's
say,
fucking cheap stuff.
yeah, I'm fucked up. I'm
Oh
fucked
my
up, man.
god. Oh my god. I need to on a Thursday no less.
Yeah, the first thing, no less.
Oh man.
No.
Yeah, I've recently implemented. I gotta say, I've recently implemented a new rule that I only drink on Friday
Wow.
because, and I know it seems like to people that need this kick throughout the week, like that need because I've actually lived like that for a while now. That you need like at least one of the 5 days needs to be like. Usually for me it was Tuesday, where I just needed like a little bit to mellow out. But I actually don't miss that because realize that just once a week is enough
Yeah.
to
Uh,
mellow out.
you know, like I just did this now to like just say this quote. Um, Alexander, I'm in the empire business.
that that glass actually looks fucking good.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit!
It came with it's a JP Weiser glass, whiskey glass that
Uh,
came with this cheap Canadian whiskey I picked up across the border for
no,
14 or 15 euros.
damn! Cheers, man. So
Cheers,
good.
man.
Fuck, man.
I will say this though, that for the price, and yes, this is like a 1989 bottle. Um, it is not worth it in my opinion. You know why? Because
No,
it tastes like remarkably same to like okay to it tastes like wild turkey bourbon, but not as
no.
smoky as wild turkey bourbon. So if I was going to compare this to like all the other whiskeys that I've tasted, I would maybe compare it to Highland Park. Highland Park is
Yeah,
also
that's a good one.
that's a good one. It's
Good one.
also like
Mm.
semi expensive, and it has like a more sharp taste to it. This is like more smooth.
generally you want to you like if you want to do something good for your whiskey taste buds, then you want to go with single malt.
Yeah.
Preferably they need to be more than 5 years old. Although I have also tasted one that I bought from my buddy. His brother owns a whiskey import business with bourbon, where they import bourbon to Denmark.
Eh, man, can I ask you, are they making a living of that?
Like barely, just
Yeah.
barely.
Yeah.
But it is hard though because like they got so much competition with the
Yeah, man. Because
with
like I've seen on the
uh,
prices, and I can just go on Amazon, get the same shit cheaper, and
Nah,
just
actually, the one I bought, which was the Templeton Rye, a 4-year-old single malt bourbon Templeton Rye, is actually a pretty good one because it's made of 90% rye. It's a rye whiskey, so it has a strong kick to it. Rye is a very special type of whiskey,
yeah, I
actually,
gotta
because
try that. I gotta
most
try
of it
that.
is made on malt. But that cost me 300 kroners, so that's $50, and it was the same thing at Whiskey Experten Decor, and it was the
Wow.
same thing at Amazon. So yeah, that was.
Wow. That's crazy.
But they can't go any lower because they also have to import it
Yeah, no,
from
like
the
I
US.
was like thinking about that because like the prices in the US, I've been to the US, it's not that much more cheaper than it is here already for whiskey.
Yeah,
And then
I'm pulling it up now as we speak on
of course it varies from state to state, but still, you hear like even if these guys that are going directly to the source of bourbon, which most likely is Kentucky, where 90% of the planet's bourbon is made, um, it still can't
yeah.
be that much of a difference.
Wow, I'm actually pulling it up here. Yeah, I think, yeah, I also checked this website before I bought it from his brothers. On this website, the whiskeyexchange.com, it's actually 338 pounds, which is 380 kroners. So and I spent 30 pounds from them. So it's actually 88 pounds cheaper
Damn.
from his brother.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, I really enjoyed that one. If you want, you can. No, that was the wrong link though. I sent you.
yeah.
I'm gonna say
Can you get a discount for me? I might
uh,
order it later from them. Um,
not on this one because I mean 30 pounds for this one is already as cheap as they can go
yeah.
without losing money.
Yeah. I'll
So
probably.
so even I actually Mathis didn't even give me the discount
Yeah.
because it was already so cheap.
I'll probably order one at a later point from them.
Yeah. I
But
definitely enjoyed it though. It was a good one because rye is very special.
yeah.
You most whiskey is made on malt,
Yeah.
but this one is 90% rye. So yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely want to try that out. And we're definitely going to bring that when we're going to do our trip to Germany, interviewing students at student bars.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Um,
And because it's not an I mean, it is of course more expensive than your blend, and that's the other point I wanted to make with whiskey, that if you just want to get fucking buzzed and wasted, and you're not concerned with the class and the taste of whiskey drinking, then you might as well go with a good blend. Like
yeah, man. And not
you can even get a good blend for 100
and and
for
not
15 pounds.
and not the name and not the 1989 Scotch malt.
No, and on a Thursday, nonetheless.
The first day, nonetheless. Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, and anyways, like we're going to move on now a little bit. I'd like to say like one thing back to this beer. It was like really good, by the way. Mumme can
Yeah.
really be recommended if you're into stout beers. If you're into IPAs, I would like to say that like one of or the best IPA I've ever tasted was a local brewed IPA in London, the bar along the Thames, not so far from that battleship that's laying Doctor, um, which was
Yeah.
called, and the beer was like called Ghost Ship IPA. No, that's the best I've ever tasted, man. Definitely. But anyways, enough beer talk, enough whiskey talk, enough hunting talk.
Yeah, almost. We could do a special episode on this alone. I mean,
Yeah,
we should make that the suit up episode that's coming up soon.
yeah,
Like I just teased it there, but yeah, okay.
yeah. We'll make that. Um, so like the last thing that I want to discuss is the fucked up shit that happened in Sweden. And if you haven't read the news
Oh,
lately, I'll
uh,
tell you. I'll tell you about it. A woman kept her son locked up in her apartment from he was 13 till 41.
what? Fuck.
Yeah, man. Like 28 years.
How
28 years in captivity.
how is that even possible? I mean, didn't he try to escape or
No,
anything?
he was gradually isolated, and you gotta also like remember that like this guy, this kid, when he was like doing this, like he didn't know what was normal and wasn't normal, right? So he has
Yeah.
just been listening to his mother, right?
Wow.
So it was like first when the mother like at this point like she's in her 70s and then she got ill and had to go to the hospital, and then
Yeah.
she told like her daughter to go and check up on the apartment, and she was given the keys, right? And also like the
Yeah.
daughter didn't even know that he was like living there at this point, and she walks into this apartment and describes it like the scene of a fucking horror movie. Meaning like
Holy.
dirt everywhere,
Yeah.
boarded up windows, no light sources except for an old 25-year-old TV or something, right?
Mess and crap lying all the way around.
Mess and crap laying around, yeah.
TV broken over in the corner, stuff like
And
that. I
then
can imagine.
and then this man, 41-year-old man, laying on the floor, cowering in a fetal position, probably, or something like this, and not cowering, but like like laying in a fetal position, and
Yeah.
undernourished, skinny as hell, looking like hell, and almost have no teeth left.
Wow. Why the fuck didn't he have any teeth left?
No, like no dental care in 28 years, man.
Shit.
Probably even haven't gotten any help either, a toothbrush.
Wow.
So
That's just insane. I mean, imagine like who found out of this?
it was the sister. That was like completely
Yeah.
unaware of the whole thing.
But like, I
But
mean, still, like, why did it come out now? I mean,
well, because
she's
this
been
is
able to keep it a secret for 28 years, and what all
well
of a sudden?
because she had to go to the hospital, and then she was in hospital, and then and then she told like her daughter to check the apartment.
Wow.
And that's when it was like discovered, right?
Yeah.
Completely fucked up. And apparently like what she had left him there for weeks to survive on was a can of mackerel and some potato chips to survive on for weeks. So apparently
It's just messed up.
yeah,
Really.
according to the sister, this has like been like not something that happened overnight. It had happened like gradually since he was like 13 or through his entire life actually. and then and then like that the mother here had lost a child earlier, right? So when he was born, she started to call him the name of her dead child. And
Oh,
furthermore to talking about and then furthermore referring to him as the son that came back, right? So
yeah.
this has been like messed up from day one. What I'm wondering is why it was like never why he was never followed up on. I mean, like, didn't the
Yeah.
siblings wonder, hey, what the fuck's going on with my brother? Right? Is he just is he has he moved out or how is he doing or whatever? Right?
Yeah.
Um, Also to mention that the sister is not the one that called the police. That was the paramedics when they saw the condition that he was in and his wounds on his legs. I mean, shit, man. Like, who knows? Maybe he like even started to like try and eat his own legs to stay alive.
Fuck, man.
And
I mean, that's just messed up.
yeah,
Uh,
completely. And like also like this was in Scandinavia, right? In Sweden.
yeah, yeah. I mean, what's even more messed up is that this was the guy's mother.
Yeah,
I mean, what kind of a fucking dynamic was happening there between those two? I
yeah,
mean, how fucked up can you get to
yeah,
your own to the thing that comes out of you? I
yeah.
mean,
Like,
you would,
to your own kin.
yeah. I mean, where's the fucking primal nature of protecting your
I got no clue, man. I got like no words for this.
I mean,
That it can even happen. Um, so and also like the dude had an incomplete language since he has like obviously not been kept in like social circuits where he could learn the Swedish language. Uh, but
yeah.
you know like what I found like really well, I don't know like what if I should use the word fascinating, but that he remembered how his sister looked like after 20 years because he referred to
What?
her by the name, you know, like whispering it in a weak voice when she saw him, right?
Yeah.
That he could recognize it was recognize her was remarkable,
Oh,
you know.
shit. Yeah.
So like I don't know, I'm thinking that like this guy is like probably going to be property of the Swedish state now, meaning that you know like they gotta take care of him, they gotta give him therapy and try and you
Yeah,
know
of
like
course.
try
I mean,
and
how is he even going to be integrated back into society? I mean,
not
is that even possible?
yeah not even sure if that's possible.
Dude
Can you?
has like 28 years of trauma,
Yeah,
PTSD.
yeah. 28 years of PTSD.
Fuck, that's worse than Jesse Pinkman
Yeah,
in Breaking Bad.
yeah.
Much
But
worse.
I'm like thinking like the fact that he has an incomplete language, could that suggest that like the mother hasn't even talked to him, right?
No.
Because
Oh my god.
I'm like when I'm talking to my son, right? Then his you know, even though he's like only a year and a half, he's still you know like mimicking what I'm saying or like trying to say what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if I'm saying Papa, right,
yeah,
then he will say like Papa, right, and try to say those words and like learn the language that way, right? So you know, like I'm not sure. Like maybe she hasn't even talked to him, and then you know, like the TV has just been on, and that's it.
yeah.
Pretty crazy, pretty fucking crazy if you ask me. Like I can't even imagining doing that to my kid.
Nah, fuck. I mean, those people.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Uh,
It's
and apparently, like she's already been released from custody.
Oh my god.
Uh,
That's another. That's something we could actually learn something from the U.S.
yeah,
because here, I mean, even if you commit a murder in Denmark, you only get like you lifetime. Yeah, lifetime. Get this, you people from America. Lifetime in Denmark is 12 to 14 years, and then
really,
you're out.
really,
Yeah, yeah.
wow.
It's no more. You
Well,
could commit a murder
that's
and you would be out in 14 years max.
man. That's
Fuck.
the same as Norway. Like Norway used to like have a 6 to 10 year sentence for murder, but in some extreme cases, it's been like longer than that. Um, Depending on like the severity of the crime, right?
Yeah,
Like for instance, we have like this one killer in Norway that chose to poison his girlfriend with thallium, which is a radiation poison, right? And
yeah,
like, and it went so slow, and she died so slowly and horrible, like with like nails falling off, hair falling off, headaches for years before she finally croaked, right? And
yeah,
this was
yeah.
like considered so gruesome and so terrible that he chose to kill her in this way, that he shouldn't just get like 10 years or 12 years. He should get like fucking 18 years in prison for this.
Yeah,
So,
but it's 15 to 17 years, but it's still, I mean, like, that's still
yeah,
not lifetime in
and
my
that's not
opinion.
accounted for parole or anything like that.
No, 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 it's not.
Um, so yeah, like I do like think that the severity of the crime has a key part to play. But
Yeah,
back to like this guy in Sweden, I think like like I think that what she did was like worse than murder,
yeah,
because she didn't just kill a person, she took his entire life away. Right?
yeah, yeah.
He has no chance at this point to becoming a functioning member of society, or getting a job or education. Right? It's all taken away from him, or a social life.
Yeah.
He has to start now at the age of 41 with therapy and learning what he should have learned in elementary school. Think about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They say that takes learning new stuff will take longer the older you are.
Yeah.
So if we had to do, even if we had to do like at age 30, I'm almost 30, you're a little over 30, but yeah, like let's say we're both 30. If we had to do elementary school now, that would take us instead of usually you take um, no, let's take high school, like 3 years of fuck man, what is the common denominator?
Well,
Uh,
elementary school is from your like what 6 years old to 13,
uh,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, or
Yeah.
yeah, that's in all countries.
Yeah.
So yeah, so 6 13. So that's what, 7 years.
7 years. Yeah.
So if you had to do that as when you're 30, it would probably take you maybe 8 or 9 years or 10 years
Yeah.
even.
10 years
And for this guy, it's probably going to take him 12 years
at least.
or 13 years
Yeah. So he'll be in his 50s by
by
the
the time
time.
he's finished with elementary school.
Yeah, and then in his late 60s when he's finished with junior high school. With junior high school. Fuck, man. Ah, like I'm sorry, but like people like this that do this to another human being deserve to get a bullet. That's
Yeah,
my honest opinion, because like there is no justification for doing something like this, right?
but the problem with now we're talking about death penalty on the topic of that,
Yeah,
and the problem with that is always, and what it always has been, um, the evidence. If if you you gotta be 100% sure. And if you're not,
Yeah,
then
but,
innocent people will receive the
yeah,
death
but in this
penalty.
case, there is no doubt that she is the
No,
person that has
but
kept
yeah,
him
I
captive
know, I
for
know.
28 fucking years.
I know,
Right?
but I'm just saying that if you were to legalize the death penalty, then innocent people will
Yeah,
be killed.
yeah. No, I agree that you need to be like 100% sure that this is the person that's done it. Because
Yeah,
if you can't be 100% sure, then you can't really kill somebody for it because then there would be doubt. And if there is doubt, then there is a chance that the person is innocent, even if that chance is only 1% or 0.5%. Um,
yeah.
but like we
Just
can,
pulling up a list of all the executed but possibly innocent people in the U. I think it's in the U.S.
yeah,
Yeah, it's in the U.S.
yeah,
There's like a long fucking list. Carlos de Luna, Texas. Most of these are in Texas.
yeah. Well, Texas is big on executions, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, well,
Convicted 83, executed in 89, and then the possible the proceedings went on after that, and then after according to what I can read here, they never really knew if he did it after.
yeah.
So fuck, man.
Well, like I think like this is where we're gonna end the episode. You got any
Yeah.
final words, Troy?
Not except for try rye whiskey. It is really if you are a whiskey enjoying kind of guy or girl, and you want a little bit more class to your whiskey intake instead of just getting buzzed. If you want to actually experience the whiskey on another level, try single malt first and foremostly, but also if you're in the experimenting phase, try a rye whiskey. It really will give you a, if it's not your favorite, it will at least give you a different perspective on the whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I sent you the link to
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks. So like to all you cholos out there listening to this and watching my dumbass drinking beer and talking shit, um, then please subscribe, like, share, comment, all that crap. And I'll see you on the next episode of The Corner. Thank you guys, and peace out.